Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I guess there it is. We knew the Democrats were up to something, they were cooking something, as they kept shifting the goalposts after plan kept failing. Their last remaining option is of course the weakest of the Trump indictments. Although as you're probably already thinking, that's not really saying much. But anyways, the Trump card, their last ditch effort, is the Manhattan hush money case. You know, probably the last place that Democrats wanted to be. I think they were hoping for Letitia James and Fani Willis, and especially Jack Smith to get the job done, but we all know all that failed. So this is what they got, this is what they're stuck with. And obviously you're desperate, and when you're desperate, well, you tend to overplay your hand, you know? You run the risk of being a little bit too eager. That's exactly what's going on. Democrats are diving in full on this Alvin Bragg joke of a case, a supposed election finance crime that the FEC, the Federal Elections Commission, already looked into and deemed that there wasn't a crime committed. And you know, that just happens to be their jurisdiction, but Alvin Bragg's little case here is moving forward with the trial ahead of the election. Democrats are getting a little bit greedy on this one. The optics are absolutely horrible for them. Let's have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so what's the purpose of this case? Well, obviously, it isn't justice. If it was justice, well, the case itself would have been dismissed already. Considering what I mentioned with the FEC and also this very unfortunate letter, this is an official statement from Stormy Daniels in 2018, where she writes, "The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denied its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, and 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid hush money. As has been reported in overseas owned tabloids, I am denying this affair because it never happened." I mean, as if that wasn't enough. You know, if we were seeing true justice, these charges would have never been brought. Clearly, the purpose here is to pull Donald Trump off the campaign trail. The Democrats know that Joe Biden can't campaign. He is old and decrepit, a dusty old fart who can frankly barely walk. And so obviously the strategy is to pull Donald Trump off the campaign trail. If Joe Biden can't campaign, well then Donald Trump can't either. That's essentially what they're trying to do. And it's obvious that that's what they're trying to do. The judge in the case just announced that Donald Trump must be present every day of trial. And if Donald Trump doesn't show up, well, he's going to arrest him. Take a look at this statement made by the former president outside the courtroom.
So thank you very much. We had some amazing things happen today. As you know, my son is graduating from high school, and it looks like the judge will not let me go through the graduation of my son, who's worked very, very hard. He's a great student. I'm very proud of the fact that he did so well. And I was looking forward for years to have graduation with his mother and father there. And it looks like the judge isn't going to allow me to escape this scam. It's a scam trial. It will allow me to leave here for a half a day, go to D.C. and go before the United States Supreme Court because he thinks he's superior, I guess, to the Supreme Court. And we got a real problem with this judge. We have a real problem with a lot of things having to do with this trial, including the DA. Because you go right outside and people are being mugged and killed all day long, and he's sitting here all day with about 10 or 12 prosecutors over nothing, over what people say shouldn't be a trial. So I just want to thank you very much, but that I can't go to my son's graduation, or that I can't go to the United States Supreme Court, that I'm not in Georgia or Florida or North Carolina campaigning like I should be. It's perfect for the radical left Democrats. That's exactly what they want. This is about election interference. That's all it's about. Thank you very much.
So first it was Donald Trump's mother-in-law's funeral, Melania Trump's mother, that he wasn't able to attend. I believe that was during Letitia James's trial. And now he's unable to go to his son's graduation. How absolutely horrible is that? The purpose is obviously to stop Donald Trump from being able to travel, to stop him from being able to focus where he needs to focus. Of course, family's important, but more importantly to Democrats, they don't want him to focus on the campaign. They don't want him to build on the momentum that he has been building. And so under threat of arrest, they're essentially forcing him to stay in New York City. And based on the reports that I've seen thus far, that could last all the way till June. It's nothing but election manipulation and of course, kabuki theater. I mean, most people that are exposed to what's going on are questioning themselves, how is this legitimate? How is this okay? Or probably more importantly, how is this happening in America? But the media actors are having a completely different conversation. They're not asking any of those questions. No, they're bringing on majorly obsessed Trump hater Maggie Haberman to use the trial as a way to distort the truth and promote skepticism about Donald Trump's vitality.
Maggie, I have to ask, you guys have been, at the Times, have been live blogging this event. And 40 minutes ago, you wrote an observation that I was very surprised. Trump appears to be sleeping. His head keeps dropping down and his mouth goes slack. Tell us about that.
Well, Jake, he appeared to be asleep, and repeatedly his head would fall down. There have been other moments in other trials, like the E.G. Carroll trial, which was around the corner in January, where he appeared very still and seemed as if he might be sleeping, but then he would move. This time, he didn't pay attention to a note that his lawyer, Todd Blanche, passed him. His jaw kept falling on his chest, and his mouth kept going slack. Now, sometimes people do fall asleep during court proceedings, but it's notable given the intensity of this morning and a lot of what was being argued.
Yeah, that's rather surprising. Well,
Donald Trump was dozing off. CNN's angle here is let's use the Trump trial to continue to try to cast Donald Trump as mentally unfit for office, as in clear mental decline, in an obvious effort to once again try to level the playing field between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Donald Trump was dozing off during the trial. Give me a frickin' break. The only person who dozes off during public events is obviously Joe Biden.
Yet another chapter in the beautiful story of the friendship between our two nations, the United States of America and the Jewish.
This conference is one of the most important meetings in history. You have the chance.
It's also clearly purposely orchestrated, and really most importantly, it's so despicable. And I think most people can see that. Most people who aren't severely Trump deranged can see what's going on. I mean, we already know the perspective regarding this New York hush money trial and case.
Donald Trump has become the first former U.S. president in history to go on trial for criminal charges. This hush money case is a big deal, especially in an election year. But according to a new poll from the AP Nork Center for Public Affairs Research, this is actually the case where Americans are least convinced that Trump has committed a crime. The survey shows that about 1/3 of U.S. adults think Trump did something illegal in the hush money case. An additional 3 in 10 think he did something unethical, but not illegal. And another 14% think he did nothing wrong at all. Compare that to about half of U.S. adults who think Trump did something illegal in the other 3 criminal cases against him. But the poll also finds that if he's convicted in this case, about half of Americans think he would be unfit to serve as president. So the outcome could have significant political implications for him, and we'll be watching as the trial unfolds.
Only 1 in 3 US adults think that Donald Trump acted illegally. That's the angle, that's the perspective. This is the weakest case that they had. We know that that's the case. The public feels the exact same way, but now Democrats, like I said earlier, I think are overplaying their hands. What they're doing is despicable, and I could rant on and on and on. Banana Republic this, kabuki theater that, a 2-tiered justice system, a show trial, election interference. I could say it on and on and on. But at the end of the day, at this point, I'm desensitized to it all, and I don't even really think it matters. I think, once again, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Considering public sentiment regarding these charges, I don't think the public is going to view what's going on too favorably. And once again, they gave Donald Trump a perfect lob, a perfect, unique opportunity to cast himself as a martyr, rightfully so. I know a lot of leftoids claim that Donald Trump is falsely casting himself as a martyr, pretending to be a martyr even though he's guilty of all these crimes, but no, he is a martyr. The Democrats are ensuring that that's the case. In their desperate, over-eager, overzealous weaponization of the legal system, it's all obviously going to backfire. Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, clearly guilty of mishandling classified documents, but only Trump is the one dealing with a rabid dog named Jack Smith. All these Democrats and even their family members, like Hunter Biden for instance, again clearly guilty of federal crimes, but they don't even get close to a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is hit with gag orders and is now being forced off the camera campaign trail to show up in court every single day over a non-crime that the FEC already looked into. It's absolutely absurd, a two-tier justice system, and I seriously think it's going to backfire, and backfire big. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. We've already spoken in depth about this case. I'm not going to go on and on talking about Stormy Daniels. It's a waste of time. It was a waste of time back in 2018, and it's a waste of time today. Let's just see where the polling takes us, shall we? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.